Well, hey y'all, Merry Christmas. We're going to start decorating for Christmas, and I know it's just the beginning of November, and I know every influencer under the sun is decorating early, but I have kind of some specific reasons as to why I'm decorating early. So I'm one of them weirdos that doesn't really like fall. I know, don't come at me. But I guess there's a few reasons, and I guess partially because I live in North Florida, and here it is November, and it's still 85 plus degrees outside. Look at me, I look like a drowned rat because it's just so stinking hot still. It's normally not, but this year it is. And then it's just kind of a hard time of year for me. So I hesitate on pulling out the pumpkins. I have tons of projects I really wanted to do. I just can't ever get myself to get in the gear to get them done. So I said, I'm scratching it this year and I'm pulling out Christmas early. And so, not to mention the fact that I don't really like fall, but also I've had a store or a booth space in an antique mall, painting furniture and selling furniture paint for almost the past 10 years. So when you do retail, you got to get all your Christmas out early so that you have it available for everyone to purchase to decorate their own homes. And in doing so, by the time I got done with everything in the store, I just didn't have much creative space left for me at home. So we've just kind of walked through the past few years, and this year I am super excited to really take my time and get all of my decor out. We also will not be here for Thanksgiving, nor will we be here Christmas Day. We'll be here up till Christmas, and then we're going out of town. So I want to enjoy it while I can. But that's not why you clicked on this video, is it? I'm going to share with you 10 tips on how you can get a designer look in your Christmas decor, but on a budget, and a minimal budget at that. So follow along. I've got lots of tips that I've been collecting for the past, 25, 30 years. So I have a lot to share with you today. So the first tip that I have for you is start with a cohesive color palette. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can bring in traditional red and green, and that is fine. But does it go with the color scheme that you have in your home? For example, my home has these really pigmented jewel tones in it. So it's the deep teal, it's a deep red, it's a gold color. Does that go with a traditional red and green? No, it would really clash. So that's where you got to get a little more creative, and you got to think a little bit more out of the box. Is your home very neutral? Well, then pretty much you can bring any style into that. But would you want that? If you have a very neutral and serene color palette, do you really want to add those bold tones of, the traditional red and green? Probably not. So think about that when you are picking the theme that you want to do for your Christmas decor. So tip number 2 is you're going to remove all of your everyday decor. I'm not saying you're going to remove every piece of furniture. I'm not saying that you need to remove everything off your wall. But if it's something that's going to clash with the theme that you have, take it down. The other thing is that a lot of people will say, they're just ready to get Christmas out of their house because they're just feeling cluttered and closed in. And a lot of that reasoning is because you're already filled up with your regular decor. Everything's kind of cohesive, and then you throw stuff on top of it. Don't do that. Pack up all that everyday decor back in the boxes that you just pulled out of that Christmas stuff from. When you're looking at those designer homes, the one thing you're not going to see, and that's clutter. So remove all of the everyday decor, clutter. It's also a great time to give your shelves and whatnot a nice good cleaning. So as you can see, the tips I've given you so far don't cost you a thing. So tip number 3 also doesn't cost you anything, and that is what you want to do is add symmetry with your designing. For example, this mantle right here, I could put a Dollar Tree Christmas tree there, a Dollar Tree Christmas tree here, and an inexpensive wreath from Michael's up there with just a bow on it, and it would look absolutely stunning. Now, if I took and put an expensive Christmas tree over here, you know, that's all bedazzled and gorgeous from Anthropologie, and didn't do anything on this side and didn't have enough to go up here, well, then we have no symmetry. We just kind of throw what we have kind of up there and whatever. We're not going to have that symmetry. So think about that when you're designing. The other way that you can add symmetry is by making sure that if you have a, for example, if you have a flock tree, make sure there is flocking in your garland and the other greenery that you're going to be using. You can mix them. Yes, you can. If you have bought a fully flocked tree, but you can't afford the flocked garland, you can get flocked pieces even from the Dollar Tree and add into your garland so that things tie in together. So the next tip is, say that the color palette you picked this year, none of what you have is going to work. Don't think that you're going to need all kinds of crafty skills to get things done. Very easily, this is what this angel looked like originally. I added some gold. It's just some gilding wax, and then added the teal down here. This was easily done, didn't take much skill or much of anything at all. I added this little bit to it too, but you wouldn't have had to. So you easily, see how I took it from more of this sage green color to a teal, so now it fits into my color palette and is much more cohesive. The other thing is I picked up these plastic balls years ago, very inexpensively, and this happened to be a silver color, and I wanted to add more of this teal in, so I just took out some chalk paint and I painted it. And then I added just a little bit of glimmer gilding wax over the top. And you can do all kinds of fun things. And we're going to be doing a bunch of those this year. So stay tuned, because I have some fun mantle things that I want to do up here. Tip number 5 is invest in pieces each year, 1 or 2 each year. For example, we've always gotten a real tree. Up until last year, we invested in a faux tree. And I'm so excited because then I can put it up whenever I want to. I don't have to hassle with it's pre-lit, although I'm adding some more lights, but it's pre-lit and it just puts together so much easier. So that was an investment though. And that is something you may not be able to do your first year. Maybe your first year you might have to get, a $20 or $30 faux tree and kind of go with it. I think our first year we got a tabletop tree, and I got a bunch of ornaments that someone gave me. Just as long as it's cohesive, it still has that designer look, even though it's just a tabletop tree, and every room of your home isn't fully decked out in Christmas decor. Sometimes simpler is better. So invest in 1 or 2 pieces each year. Invest in a garland one year. Or I got some really beautiful ornaments from Restoration Hardware after Christmas. That's a great way to save some money and to invest in those really quality pieces. Tip number 6 to getting that designer look on a budget is check out your thrift stores. Check out the yard sales. Check out, Home Goods and Michael's and Joann Fabric and Hobby Lobby. Joann, Hobby Lobby, and Michael's all have tremendous sales. Watch those sales. Check out those thrift stores. Look early and look often, because sometimes they pull out that Christmas stuff little by little. You also can shop throughout the year. Some thrift stores actually pull it out as they get it. They just put it out on the shelves. Some hold on to it and wait for Christmas. So it just depends on your area. So look early and look often when it comes to thrift store things. And the same basic principles when you're finding stuff for your home At a thrift store, you're going to look not just for the exact thing that's going to fit into your color scheme and your theme this year, but you're also going to be looking for just the shapes. You're going to be looking for greenery that you could pull out of a wreath or out of an arrangement of some sort. You're going to be looking for ornaments. I have gotten ornaments for dirt cheap, like $2 for 12 of them. And I was just out looking at Walmart. Walmart, I think, was $10 for 12 ornaments. So I think that's quite the savings in a way that you can really make a buck spread a long way. The other way to save money at Christmas time is if you have a friend that has similar taste as you, maybe you could, or a mother or a sister, you could swap. You could, one year, you kind of want to change things out a little bit each year, but you don't want to redo everything. Maybe you can swap out some things and you can borrow a few things this year and then swap them back at the end of the season. So tip number 7 is to use graphic prints. These are prints you can find on Etsy or several other sites that are out there. I know if you're looking for that really awesome vintage look, Graphics Fairy has some beautiful ones that you can download and then have printed somewhere. If you have a really good printer in your home, you print them out yourself. And you get them printed in a larger print and put them in a stock picture frame, and you have beautiful artwork. You can even just switch out some of the photos that you have already. You can also use wrapping paper. I know one of my sister-in-laws, I have 6, one of my sister-in-laws would take the pictures that she had in her bathroom and in a couple different places in her home, and she would wrap them with wrapping paper and put a bow on them, and it brought that Christmas cheer to that room without a whole lot of money, and it was beautiful. You can also use that wrapping paper or decoupage napkins or whatnot, and make that go a really long way. You can also do that when you're reusing some of those items that you have. You can decoupage with some of the prints that you get, or you can, there are wet transfers now that are really beautiful and super easy to use. So there's many things out there that you can personalize even your decor to your theme very easily and without a whole lot of money. So tip number 8 for getting that designer look is please do not discount Dollar Tree or Walmart or Target or Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Don't discount those places, especially TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods. They will have some really high-end looking pieces for a very reasonable price. But if you're on a very strict budget, maybe you're just starting out, Dollar Tree has got some amazing things. Walmart, let me just show you, doing a little something special for the grandkids this year. My oldest granddaughter is 4, and when her first Christmas came around, I put together a pink tree for her. And I just thought it was super cute. Of course, she loved it, but of course, I really was the one who pushed that, and I wanted a pink tree as well. So, but now we have a grandson, another granddaughter, and another granddaughter on the way. Can you believe a mom of 3 boys has got all these girls in her life now? I don't know what to do with myself. But anyways, so Walmart today had some really special things, and you're going to kind of see a little bit of what I'm doing for them by what I'm going to show you. These were only 98 cents. Can you believe? They look extremely high-end and beautiful, and they're plastic, which is even better because it's going to be a tree for my grandkids. And, well, I'm hoping they don't deconstruct it within the first 5 minutes. And hopefully, at least if they do pull things off, it won't break on them, right? So there's lots of cute things. So that's look at the donut. I mean, y'all, how cute is that? I was going to make all of the cupcakes and whatnot, and I thought, oh, there's no reason for that. So I am going to So I've got a bunch of these. That's a great haul. The other thing, Dollar Tree has some awesome things, and there's tons of tutorials out there on ways that you can take decorations that they already have and, you know, juice them up and turn them into something that's going to fit in your decor. I mean, look at this little snow globe, and it's plastic again. So again, I have little grandkids, so this is going to be adorable. I mean, you put these little trees in there. I got to find something else little. I want to try to find a little ballerina or something to put in here. This crystal reindeer I have been looking for a couple of years, and I finally got one. He's gorgeous. I guess you could hang him on a tree or set him out. I'm thinking that I want to put him in one of my cloches. And then I've got some other fun things that we're going to do. They've got foam there, which can get really expensive, but Dollar Tree has got some fabulous things. So think out of the box. Think color scheme, and you can even think simplicity. But don't discount Walmart, don't discount Target, don't discount all those things. I have had several pieces from there, and I just kind of keep recycling them through, refurbish them in different ways, and they've all held up. You do get what you pay for, of course. My restoration mercury glass ornaments are a much heavier glass and don't break, nearly as easy, and have held up very well. But the others were inexpensive to where I don't feel guilty refurbishing them and changing them into different colors each year. So that's just something to keep in mind. And let me tell you, Walmart has some beautiful greenery right now. The Texas house greenery is absolutely gorgeous, but they've also got, this very viral faux greenery that it was a floral or something. Everyone's duping. Well, Walmart has an amazing one, so check them out. It is about $30 for the garland, but it is absolutely gorgeous, and it's one of those investment pieces that you could pick up and last you each year. Tip number 9. And this might be controversial because probably most people have said, invest in expensive lights because it's going to last you from year to year. I can tell you that in my almost 30 years of decorating my home, I have used the cheapest Walmart lights that there are, the 100 light strands, some 200 light strands. And when they aren't working as well anymore, we just toss them and get new ones. Really, do you really want to sit there every Christmas going through each light trying to figure out which one is blown and then replace it because you've invested in those expensive lights? I do have a couple strands that are the more expensive, more decorative type lights, but when it comes to fully lighting your tree, I wouldn't. I personally just don't invest my money into the light. Tip number 10 is pick up some picks. You can get them at Dollar Tree. Like I said, Michael's and Hobby Lobby have sales all the time. I bought some of these picks. These berries are very inexpensive. I think they're like $1 with the coupons and whatnot. They were like $1 something a piece. And I have used these for decades. So, and then these I think were maybe a bigger one that I cut and pieced out. But each year I kind of pick up a few more. And now I've accumulated quite a bit. And what that does is so you can take these picks and you can obviously put them in a vase and make them look beautiful. You can put them, instead of garland, you can use several picks across the top of your mantle. You can stick picks in your garland to help that look much more expensive and much more designer. And like I said, if your tree is flocked, add some flocked pieces in there to in your regular garland to give it more of that flocked look. You can also, when you're adding them to the tree, an artificial tree especially, it gives it just that much more upscale look. It's going to look more like it came out of a floral design shop. Another tip with that is also ribbon. So I bought this ribbon right here. Let's see if I can get it out. Several years ago. I picked this up at Marshall's. I think there were like 3 packages of it. It is extremely beautiful, thick, glittered ribbon that just adds that beautiful touch. And it's a great way to add that, also continuing that color palette. So picking up the gold, if you want to add more gold into your space, this is a great way of adding that glitter and a little bit of gold. Even though it is on burlaps, this could actually go more rustic or farmhouse or more glam because of all of the glitter. So again, Michael's is another great place. At the end of season, Hobby Lobby has their sales all the time, and actually they don't have anything left after the season. So, but pick them up when they're on sale, and that helps to continue that color palette very easily. You do this with a pack of ornaments from Walmart or even Hobby Lobby and Michael's. They've got amazing color palettes. And I've got 2 bonus tips for you that I just needed to throw in there, and that is looking for pillows. These pillow covers were beautiful. I got them off Amazon. I think they were less than $20 for a set of 4. You just throw that over your existing pillows. Then one, you don't have to store all those Christmas pillows each year, as well as they're inexpensive. You just throw them in the wash. If they get worn out, you just get new ones and they're not expensive. The other bonus tip is use some fabric. You can get that batting at a craft store. That's it's the stuff you put inside of a quilt. You can get even that Christmas snow blanket or something, I think it's called, very inexpensively. You can get a throw blanket. You can take a flower pot even and put your Christmas tree in that and use those blankets or fabric as a tree skirt instead of that traditional tree skirt that can be quite pricey. Now, I got mine at Marshall several years ago, and it has held up quite well, but it isn't quite the same style that I want anymore. So we're going to do something fun this year. We're going to see if we can find a good throw that will work with our color scheme this year. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button so you're not missing a video. We have several videos coming out this Christmas, starting with the 12 days of Christmas starting November 17th. We will have 12 days of Christmas ornaments. We will also have several tutorials thrown in there as well, so you're not going to want to miss out. Like I said, I'm doing a really cute little space for my grandkids this year. I also have that breakfast nook that I just redid, so I have that area. I'm going to do a little more in my kitchen this year, and I'm just super excited. I'm doing something really kind of glamorous, I would say, on the mantle over here, and I'm really excited. So if there were 2 main things that I would focus on if I was just starting out, is remember, you don't have to get everything all at once. And also, keeping it simple sometimes gives you more of a designer look.